contrasting fabrics. So you might do a solid and a print, two different solids, it doesn't matter. But this was the first quilt that I ever made. I don't know when you guys started quilting. When did you guys start?
1980.
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
1 year ago.
A year. I started in 2010.
Really?
I thought, oh, let me just take a quilting class. You know, that sounded like fun. And so this was what I made. And it's a Wonky Nine Patch.
Okay.
You almost have to come and look at it to see where the squares are because it blends so much. But here's a square.
Oh,
And then here's one.
yeah.
And here's one. And so they had us just put the squares together, so it was a 3x4, and then our border. You'll also see on this one, they added little bits of stripes, and some they did before they did the cutting, and some they did after. You can do whatever you want with this, and there's no right or wrong. So I told you all to bring 10x10s, but this just gives you an example. If you start with two 8x8, it comes down once you sew it together here and then trim it here, you're going to get about a 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. Depending on how you sew and how you trim, you might trim it down to 6 1/2. You know, whatever's easier. The 10-inch goes to 8 3/4, and the 12 goes to 10 3/4, and that was how I sewed it and trimmed it. So I'm thinking I'm losing 1 1/4 inches every time because you've got your seams. You know, that's what's shrinking it down, and then you're trimming it. So if you want to do, you know, a 35-36 by 44, you have to decide, do I want to put a border around it? Do I want to just have squares and be done? If you do a 10x10, and let's make it easy and say you trim to 8 1/2. If you've got 4 of them, well, now we have to do the math. That would be 32, 33, 34 inches. And then you could put an inch trim around if you wanted, and that takes you to 36. Okay. Questions so far before I get started? All right, so you're going to take your 2 contrasting fabrics, and it doesn't matter what goes on top, what goes on the bottom, but you're going to put them together. And you're literally just cutting, I'm going to share here. You're literally just cutting 2 across and 2 up and down. They could be straight. It's almost like a tic-tac-toe board that you're doing, but you kind of want to put them on the diagonal. You want to move them just a little bit, and that's what makes them all look different. So you're going to do that. So I'm going to cut here.
Do we put face to face?
Put right side up on both.
Both.
Yeah. And I'm double checking now. So I've cut 2 going across. And so this is what I have so far. I've just done 2 going across.
Are we gonna cut them one at a time?
We're going to cut our 2 pieces of fabric at the same time because you want them to be a mirror image of each other. Now I'm going to go the other way. And my material's off just that little bit. Oh, we're good, we're good. Okay, close enough.
Still face up.
Still face up. I really haven't moved anything.
Okay, right, okay.
And so now I'm doing like this, I'm gonna come over and do like this. So when I've got my fabrics here, now I lay them out separately. And yeah, it'd be easier if you come up.
You're gonna create 2 blocks.
I'm gonna create 2 blocks, and they're gonna be the opposite of each other. Some pieces are little, some are big, it doesn't matter. Didn't cut that one through. And now I've got my 2 blocks. And really they're identical, except for the design. What I do then is I sew this together, and this together. You know, I just chain them. Then I'll come back and I'll do this one, and this one.
Just like we cut it.
Then, yes, just like you cut it almost. And then I stop and iron. And then I sew together my 2.
We're ironing open, seams open.
I iron seams open.
Okay.
I find that easier when I put them together. And then you want to kind of make it so that your joints come, you know, to a point as well as you can. I'll show you, when you get to that point, I'll show you how I do it. I'm sure everybody's got their own little technique. And then what I did with this one was, okay, I've got a pattern. I have 3 different colors. And then in between, I'm going to put my background. Mm-hmm. So if I've got, you know, 10 different fabrics, I'm making 20 squares. Because you're making, you know, a square with each one. And then it kind of doubles, if that makes sense. And that's, yes.
Or maybe I should, when you're cutting this, for instance, if you're doing the 10 by 10, you know you've got your smaller cut somewhere, 2 different places you've got that smaller. So they should be no less than.
Right, you've got to make sure that you come in enough
Right.
so that you've got your space. Mm-hmm. Because you're gonna lose a quarter here, you're gonna lose a quarter here, you know. So you don't want something right on the edge.
Right.
So what is that, about 2 inches?
Yeah. And see, some will be big. And I will tell you, these squares, I cut mine 9 by 9 because I want more of a border around it when I'm done. Mm-hmm. So really, mine's going to come out to be about a 9.5. You know, it's going to be mine's going to come out to be about a 7.5. It's going to be in between the 8 and the 9. So if I've got 7.5, I've got 30 when I put 4 of them together, and that gives me 3 inches on either side to put a border around it. Because I like the border. I think it finishes it.
That one on the wall, have you got something pieced in there? Those yellow strips?
Yeah, so see, I took this fabric and I cut it and I added the yellow strips to it.
Okay.
Then I put it with my background fabric and cut it in the Wonky Nine
I
Patch.
see. Okay,
So
so
because see, here's some,
Yeah, right
here's
here
some,
is-
here,
Just randomly.
just random.
So it's like pick up sticks and wonky.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
We ain't doing that.
But there was a wonderful fabric store in Key West called the Seam Shop. And they just had beautiful fabrics. And they taught, you know, sewing classes whenever. And, I probably went twice and did this. It goes together so easy once you know, get into the sew, and you'll figure out your own, sewing these two together, these two, and you'll get into your pattern, your rhythm. But yeah, so if you want, get your fabrics together, and if you want, I'll walk around and we'll see about getting some squares cut.